taking place in a location like this. Hyundong Lee confirms, stating that it's a building that halted construction, subsequently turning into a somewhat dubious area where the conference is consistently held. He remarks that it appears exceedingly suspicious, even suggesting that one could potentially commit a murder here without detection. Hyundong Lee cautions Sehyon Kim against revealing any intentions of harming everyone at the conference that day. Sehyon Kim denies such intentions, stating that wasn't what he meant. He advances, lifts the curtains, and anticipates encountering a gathering of intimidating individuals who might assault him upon his entry. Seok Kang stands there with his gang and warmly welcomes him. He inquires if Sehyon Kim is from West Gangbok High, to which Sehyon Kim affirms. Seok Kang introduces himself as being from South Gangbok High, believing they are of the same age. Sehyon Kim remarks on Seok's name, finding it similar to Suk, to which Seok points out the seating arrangement for West Gangbok High representatives. Sehyon Kim acknowledges and expresses gratitude, considering Seok to be a nice guy and finding it unbelievable that he's the leader of South Gangbok High. They all take seats on the sofa. Meanwhile, Hyundong Lee calls Sehyon Kim. Sehyon Kim wonders what he wants, feeling relieved that he's okay. Hyundong Lee warns him not to be deceived by Seok's friendly demeanor, cautioning that although Seok may appear pleasant, he's the formidable leader of South Gangbok High, making it difficult to discern his true intentions. He advises Sehyon Kim to remain vigilant around him, suggesting that among the leaders of high schools in the Gangbuk district, he may be the most dangerous. Seok Kang's friend inquires about his impression of Sehyon Kim. Recalling their previous conversation regarding his name, Seok Kang responds that it's been a while since they teased him about his name, and he didn't expect him to dare do such a thing. Meanwhile, Sehyon Kim wonders what Seok is discussing over there. Hyundong Lee advises not to look away first, as it shows weakness. Sehyon Kim tells him to shut up and thinks that a nice-looking guy like Sehyon couldn't be dangerous. He wonders why the quest hasn't been completed yet. He needs to acquire his 10 bronze cards and is eager to discover what abilities he will receive this time and if people from the other schools need to show up. Seok Kang asks if he's warming up, to which he responds negatively, thinking about when the leaders from the North and East Gangbok High School are arriving. Lee Ha-han arrives with his gang, lifting the curtain and commenting that they should have ripped it open. Upon seeing Seok Kang, he remarks that the idiot is here too. Seok Kang responds, saying that's rude, as he thought they were friends. Meanwhile, Sehyon Kim thinks that guy is clearly dangerous and looks like a total thug. He wonders if the newcomer looks like the kind of guy who'd steal his girlfriend. The quest window notifies him that the quest is complete, and as a reward, he has received 1 gold and 10 bronze cards. Sehyon Kim realizes he has completed the quest and decides it's time to go home to claim his cards. He stands up and tells his friends they should leave, pondering what abilities he will get this time and where he should open the cards to maximize his chance of getting good ones. Lee Ha-han grabs him by the neck, demanding to know where he's going and stating that he's only there because of him. He introduces him as Sehyon Kim, the top dog of West Gangbuk, and mentions hearing that he beat Ha-jun-gu. He challenges him to try and beat him too. Sehyon Kim smiles back at him. He asks if he thinks this is funny. Sehyon Kim thinks this is a typical quest trigger. If he reacts to this, a quest will pop up, telling him to fight this idiot. He recalls a memory when he was with Ha-jun, and the quest window popped out, saying to fight with him. He thinks that, after all, that's exactly what happened with Ha-jun-gu, and he does not want to fight this guy. So, in order to prevent such a quest from appearing, he will do nothing. He says, amazing. Seok Kang's gang member says not only did he dare to provoke him, but he's also not at all afraid of Lee Ha-han. Seok Kang agrees, looking at Sehyon Kim and asking what's going on with that blank, unfocused expression on his face. He speculates that Sehyon Kim is probably looking for Lee Ha-han's weak points. Seok Kang says yes, he believes so, and he guesses the rumors about him were true. He mentions Tank Top Sehyon of West Gangbok High, who was said to be so ruthless that he'd even take his family members as hostages to get what he wanted and face off against Lee Ha-han. At best, this fight will end in a tie. He says he can't waste this opportunity. After they fight and wear themselves out, they will attack them both. Sehyon stares at Lee Ha-han. He says this is the first time someone has provoked him like this. Sehyon Kim thinks a quest has not appeared, but at this rate, he will end up fighting him anyway. A Yeeha gang member comes between and says he needs to stop. He gets angry and slaps him on the face, calling him an idiot narc for daring to talk to him. He says Seok Kang is here. If he fights Sehyun Kim here and now, Seok Kang will take advantage of the situation, and who knows what kind of hell he'll pull. Yi Ha-han says he needs to calm down. He says he will have other chances to face off against Sehyun Kim, but Seok Kang is here, and he's the most dangerous person in this room. Yi Ha-han leaves from there and says forget it. Seok Kang claps his hands and says, well, that's enough for today. If they drag this on any longer, it will just end in a fight. He says that now that they have had a chance to meet face to face, they shouldn't forget to say hi the next time they run into each other, and besides, no one from North Gangbuk High showed up. Sehyun Kim thinks this is unbelievable and tells Seok that sounds good. Seok Kang accuses him of making fun of his name again. Sehyun Kim thinks it's over, and he doesn't have to fight anyone. He guesses he can go home now, but he can't leave empty-handed, so he says peek at him. Seok Kang suggests to Yi Ha-han that they grab some food since it's been a while. Yi Ha-han asks what the hell he is talking about. The quest window notifies that he used the peek at him card. Seok Kang says that's mean, he thought they were friends. Yi Ha-han tells him to get out of there before he kicks him. The quest window notifies that his peek at him rank is too low. Sehyun Kim wonders why he can't see their stats. After a while, Sehyun Kim walks along the road tiredly and thinks to himself that it's already morning. He recalls the conference or whatever it was called that he had been so worried about. He fell asleep as soon as he got home. More importantly, he can't believe the peek at him card failed. He says it stated his rank was too low, and he guesses he can't take a peek at just anybody. He wonders what the basis for that is, perhaps strength. He wonders if that means the two of them are much stronger than he is. Currently, Hyundong arrives there with his gang. Sehyun Kim inquires what it is this time. He states they have nothing but respect and admiration for him. Sehyun Kim retorts they have already been told that. He remarks that he is so humble, they have heard everything, and he asks how it all went down at the Gangbuk conference yesterday. Sehyun Kim asks what he means. He mentions Yi Ha-han, the top dog of East Gangbuk High. He heard he took him down with his dragon tiger fist, and that the fight was over before Seok Kang could even intervene, and rumors spread all over the school. Sehyun Kim asks how and who spread that rumor. He says it was not easy. He knows coming to school at the crack of dawn and spreading that rumor. The students surrounding Sehyun Kim exclaim he is amazing, the hope of West Gangbuk, tank top Sehyun. Another student suggested that he show them his great dragon tiger fist technique. Another asks if it is true that he mastered that technique by killing his martial arts teacher. After a while, Sehyun Kim finds himself in the nurse's office and complains that everything hurts. He mentions he has been through so much since yesterday, so it is no wonder he is feeling ill and achy all over. He adds that he even has a fever, but he has been leaving school early way too often lately, so he can't go home either and wonders what the hell a dragon tiger fist is. He almost forgets, but then realizes this is his chance, as there's no one around. He declares it's time to claim his cards. All the cards appear in front of him, and he notes that he got 1 gold card and 10 bronze cards from the last quest. He decides to start with the gold card. The quest window notifies him that he has claimed the gold card. The gold card indicates that the normal card is the card master, which allows the user to combine or disassemble cards in order to receive cards of a higher or lower rank. He wonders if he can combine and disassemble cards, and if this is just like video games, where he can combine and disassemble materials and things. He then proceeds to claim all the bronze cards, and the quest window notifies him that he has claimed 10 bronze cards. The window displays all 10 cards to him. He remarks that the only one that's even remotely useful is the leap of strength, but it says it will decrease his intelligence by 3 levels in exchange, and he doesn't think he can really afford to lose any more brain cells at this point. Nonetheless, he decides to keep this one just in case. He comments that the rest are mediocre, so he combines the bronze card hit those low notes with another bronze card, lesser what's that smell. The quest window notifies him that he used the card master card and received a silver card by combining 2 bronze cards. He remembers an old silver card, boxing straight punch, and throws a punch. The quest window notifies him that he threw a straight punch. He thinks that combining cards is really fun and mentions his mom said he should never try gambling. He ponders over how strange this feels and says technically this is not gambling, but it's giving him a strange sense of thrill. He admits that yeah, he guesses this is kind of like gambling and decides to just try 4 cards. The quest window notifies him that he used the card MasterCard and he received 2 silver cards by combining 4 bronze cards. The quest window displays the cards with their details. Holding the cards to see, he thinks these are useless. He is not trying to be a pro athlete or anything like that. He decides he can't do it. He shouldn't waste the silver cards and should keep these 2 just in case. He wonders what if he gets a really crappy gold card and decides he should quit while he's ahead. Then he scolds himself, questioning why he's being such a coward, and reminds himself he could end up with an amazing gold card. He admits he hates sports anyway and doesn't like getting all sweaty, so even if he kept these, he'd never use them. The quest window notifies him that he used the card MasterCard again. He declares he's going all in. The quest window notifies him that he received a gold card by combining 4 bronze cards. He asks if the new card has popped up yet. The quest window shows the trigger card, which notifies him that something good happens to the user whenever they receive a hit, up to 5 hits. He thinks this is a card for fighting. The trigger card notifies that something good happens to the user whenever they receive a hit. The effect is triggered after 5 hits. He slaps himself on the face and says that it hurts. He asks what the hell, nothing happened, and wonders if it is because he hit himself. He says the card's called Master, so he thought it would let him assert dominance over people or something, but instead it will reward him whenever other people assert dominance over him, and actually, he thinks he likes it better this way. The quest window notifies that a new main quest is available. He says a main quest. It is high time for a new one, and he needs more cards so he can combine them. He asks what it wants him to do this time. The quest window notifies that he needs to recruit crew members 04 with a reward of 1 gold card. He sees the screen and thinks, so it's finally come to this. Now it's overtly telling him to recruit crew members. He wonders why it keeps raising the stakes like this. It's almost like he is actually playing a video game, and if there is a final boss he needs to defeat or something. He thinks this quest is so different from the ones he has gotten before and wonders if it is that difficult to recruit crew members. He sends a message to Kujaya and asks if he wants to join his crew. Kujaya agrees. The quest window notifies that Gukjayang has joined his crew and recruited crew members 14. He thinks that was quick. This is such an easy main quest. Hyundong arrives holding medicine and asks if he is doing all right. He thinks whatever, he will just recruit a bunch of randos and get his reward. He waves toward him and says he is feeling much better, asking if he's referring to his visit to the nurse's office earlier and if he wants to join his crew too. Shocked to hear this, he drops the medicine packet and exclaims that finally he is assembling a crew to unite all of Gangbuk. He kneels down and says please forgive his lack of respect and let him formally greet him. Sehyun Kim thinks if it's okay for him to just recruit whomever, and what if he runs into a problem later on because of the haphazard crew he assembles, realizing he is going about this the wrong way. Hyundong Lee says that he will call him boss from now on. Sehyun Kim says never mind, forget what he just said, and thinks he'd better think this over more carefully. He tells Kujaya to let's go. Kujaya follows him, saying okay boss. He asks if he wants to be his second in command. Kujaya responds with a yes. After a while, Sehyun Kim lies on a desk and ponders who he should recruit. It's too risky to just recruit anybody since he might get a follow-up quest that involves the crew, and he will need members who are legit. He asks how he can confirm that, and then suggests using the peek at him card. He says he should look at people's stats and recruit the ones who are stronger. He agrees to do that, realizing he needs to test the card he was awarded last time too. Karen Beek arrives, sees him, and says it is him, Sehyun, asking what the hell he is doing here. She further questions why he lives in this neighborhood. He asks if it's because he lives in this neighborhood and if that is his fault. She says it is not his fault and moves to leave, saying okay bye. He says he'll see her at school tomorrow. Then he remembers something and says just a minute. He has a favor to ask her. She asks about the favor. He says he knows this is kind of a weird thing to ask, but if she could slap him in the face. He recalls the trigger card and thinks he will ask Karen to help him. He says there's something he needs to check physically he means. She asks if he does too. He wonders what she's talking about and says yeah, he feels like something good will happen if she hits him. She asks if he wants her to swear while she is doing it. He says he did not ask her to swear. she says anyway, no takebacks, and moves to slap him. Dongjin arrives with his gang and asserts that he loves getting beat up, of course. Sehyun Kim looks at them. He mentions that they forgot about him and inquires if they did indeed forget. He states they're there to avenge their brother Sangcheol's untimely end. Sehyun Kim recalls them and acknowledges they're the same guys from last time, pondering why he had to encounter them again. He questions their intentions, specifically regarding Sangcheol, and wonders if they're akin to monsters in a video game, respawning from a particular location or something. He exclaims in disbelief, realizing Sangcheol is standing right behind him. Sangcheol Park indicates himself, stating he is Sangcheol Park, and reveals his Myers-Briggs type indicator as ENFP. Sehyun Kim expresses frustration, saying he doesn't care about Sangcheol's Myers-Briggs type. A quest notification pops up, indicating a side quest has been created. Fight and defeat thugs, Thug Boss 01, Thug Henchman 05. Reward: 1 silver card. He believes he has to fight them again, but he already defeated these guys last time. Dongjin mentions who they have brought with them this time. These guys last time. Dongjin mentions who they have brought with them this time. He believes, thankfully, this quest should be easy to complete, but who is the thug boss, and if it is Sangcheol, he asks who he has brought. He believes he has even ended up memorizing their names. Sanghyok Park from East Gangbuk High arrives and demands to move out of his way, asserting he is Sangcheol's older brother. He believes this guy is the thug boss and suggests peeking at him. The quest window notifies that he has used the peek at his card and displays his details. Sanghyok Park asks about what he peeked at and whether he realized he was his type. He believes his stats are incredible, with high strength, speed, and endurance. Sanghyok Park mentions he heard a lot about his tank top Sehyun. He believes he has not even seen anyone at school who is ranked B for strength, and there's no way he could beat this guy. Sanghyok Park commands them to get out of the way. Karen Beek steps forward and inquires about the school the guys attend. He considers that he could use Karen's help since she knows everybody, and he should be able to do so with any luck. She admonishes them, calling them idiots, and questions how pathetic they can get by ganging up on one person. Sangcheol derides her and asks who she thinks she is. He observes that she has discerned that thugs like them would never harm a woman. Sehyun Kim intervenes, urging them to leave her out of it. Sanghyok Park moves, strikes him, and commands him to shut up. He remarks that he had heard Sehyun was West Gangbuk's top dog, but he just seems like a pathetic little bitch to him. Karen Beek attempts to enlist his help, but a red jack boy seizes her and remarks that Sanghyok Park's fists are merciless, especially against the weak. She inquires if he is okay, and he responds that it's his stomach. She asks what is wrong with his stomach. He states that his stomach feels fine. The quest window notifies him with a message, "Master, please, 1 hit." She inquires about what he is saying. He questions why his stomach would feel good. Sanghyok Park demands to know what the idiot just said and asserts that he mentioned feeling good after being punched. Dongjin suggests that maybe they went too easy on him. He remarks that there's something wrong with that idiot. Sehyun Kim wonders what's going on. Sangcheol shoves Karen Beek and instructs him to stop behaving inappropriately since there is a lady present. He moves to strike him and threatens to beat him to a pulp. Sehyun Kim contemplates whether getting beaten up feels good. The quest window notifies him that he has received 5 hits with the message, "Master, please, effect triggered and something good will happen." He contemplates what something good could be and whether the card was triggered. Sangcheol inquires about how he likes that jackass. The quest window notifies that 1 stat will increase at random, and his strength has increased from E to C rank. Sehyun Kim punches him in the face and throws him away. The quest window displays his abilities ranks. Everyone, including Karen Beek, is shocked to see this. Dongjin remarks that the newly strengthened Sangcheol was taken down by that idiot. Sehyun Kim steps in front of Karen and confesses that he kind of feels good whenever he gets hit. She calls him an idiot weirdo and asks if he likes getting hit that much. He thinks he can beat him. Sanghyok Park states that he will then hit him as many times as he wants. He believes they are now on an even playing field. Sanghyok Park suggests, "Let's do this, Tank Top Sehyun." The quest window notifies that the side quest is starting. They all move to attack, saying they can't take it anymore, and ask how dare he hurt Sangcheol again. Sehyun attacks Dongjin in the face. The quest window notifies that he threw a jab. He thinks there are too many of them, and he needs to fight in a narrow alley like he did last time. Hopefully, that jab will distract them for a bit while he makes a run for it. The blue tie boy remarks, "This is unbelievable. Dongjin is stronger now than before too, and yes, he's down after a single punch." Soo-hyun Kim thinks that was just meant to be a diversion, and he did not even hit him in the chin. They hold Dongjin, who is unconscious, crying, and urge him to fight back so he can get up. Soo-hyun Kim thinks he got knocked out by a single punch, and if this could be the power of the master, please card. They stare at Soo-hyun. He calls Karen and tells her to close her eyes. She asks about her eyes. He says a girl like her should not have to witness such violence. A boy asks what the hell he is saying and remarks that's the cringiest thing he has ever heard. Sang-hyuk Park applauds and remarks, "Not bad at all. Now things are finally starting to get interesting." Soo-hyun Kim observes his abilities ranking within the quest window and notes that his endurance is only ranked as C. Sang-hyuk Park addresses him as Tank Top Soo-hyun and initiates an attack, challenging him to see who emerges victorious. Soo-hyun Kim calculates that at his current strength, he stands a good chance of winning and retaliates with a punch. The quest window indicates that he threw a straight punch, and his strength has decreased from C to E rank. Sang-hyuk Park questions if Soo-hyun Kim was knocked out by such a weak punch. He wonders why his strength suddenly decreased and ponders if it's because he hasn't been punched in a while, speculating if the counter for hits is down to 4. He concludes that his strength has decreased because he hasn't received 5 hits, and he asks why the stat increase is so short-lived. Sang-hyuk Park delivers a harsh kick. He reassures himself that it's okay. He just needs to get hit again, and with just one more hit, he will have 5 hits again. Sang-hyuk Park punches him and comments on how weak he is, finding it strange that despite beating him severely, the effect isn't triggering. He wonders what the issue is and throws him away with a punch. Soo-hyun Kim requests a timeout, pondering why the effect was triggered earlier, but not this time, and if there's a special requirement he needs to meet to trigger it. Sang-hyuk Park advances, stating that time waits for no man. Soo-hyun Kim worries about Karen being in danger if he loses. Karen Beek intervenes, moving to assist him and verbally confronting Sang-hyuk Park. Sang-hyuk Park reassures her to wait, indicating they will have some fun once he's finished with Soo-hyun. Karen, fearful of Soo-hyun getting hurt, calls out to him. The quest window indicates that Master Please requires 5 hits for something good to happen. Soo-hyun Kim punches him in the face and notices that his punches suddenly feel much stronger. The quest window then notifies him that his strength has increased to C rank, and he delivers a straight punch. He thanks Karen, realizing how he managed to stack up 5 hits, and consumes a bean. The quest window notifies that he used a healing bean. Soo-hyun Kim clarifies that his desire to protect himself wasn't the reason. It was the shame he felt about getting beaten up in front of a girl. He reflects that he now understands that's what it was. He comprehends that the effect doesn't trigger just whenever he gets beaten up. He needs to be beaten up and feel ashamed to meet the card's requirements and trigger the stat increase. So that's why the card is called Master Please. Sang-hyuk Park grabs his leg and remarks, "It seems like he's a half-decent boxer, but has he heard of the name Sang-hyuk, the Boulder Park, as he attempts to lift him?" The quest window notifies that he used the maximum capacity card. Sang-hyuk Park wonders why he can't lift him. Soo-hyun Kim moves aside and strikes him, mentioning the weight boost from the maximum capacity card and the strength boost from the Master Please card, noting that currently his punches are at a rank. He continues to hit him repeatedly. The quest window notifies that the side quest is complete and he has received a silver card. Soo-hyun Kim ponders what card it will be this time, realizing that cards are all he cares about now. After a while, Soo-hyun Kim walks in the hallway, pondering why he's receiving these quests and finding them enjoyable. He reflects that the quests seem to be assigned based on his actions and wonders if there's someone assigning them to him. Suddenly, Karen slaps him and verbally abuses him. The quest window notifies that it's 1 hit for Master Please. He requests her to slap the other cheek too, questioning what's going on. She continues to abuse him and demands to know why there's a rumor circulating that they're dating. Some students gather around them, with one girl remarking that it's a lover's quarrel and another commenting on young love. Soo-hyun Kim asks what they're talking about and why anyone would spread such a rumor, insisting it's ridiculous and nothing has happened between them. He responds, "Well, unless she's counting that indirect kiss." A girl asks another if she heard that. A boy whispers that they've only kissed indirectly, not even on first base. She admonishes him, saying not to make it worse. Another student commented that he guessed the rumor about them having 3 kids already wasn't true. Hyundong arrives holding flowers and remarks, so it's not true that he fell for him after he heroically saved her. She denies it, stating that it's not true at all, and that she doesn't like him. She tells him not to jump to such conclusions. He then asks if it's also not true that she is the dominant one in the relationship and Sehyun is the submissive one. She responds, "Get over here." Outside the school, a student bumps into Ha-jun-gu and apologizes. Ha-jun-gu moves away without saying anything. Meanwhile, at East Gangbok High, Sang-hyuk Park kneels down and apologizes, admitting that he tried his best but couldn't defeat him, confirming that the rumors about tank top Sehyun were all correct. He explains that he pretends to be weak, waiting for his opponent to lower their guard before striking with a single ruthless blow. He asserts that Sang-hyuk at Boulder Park has no doubt that Soo-hyun is trained in martial arts and especially skilled in offensive attacks. He sincerely expresses his regret, acknowledging that he has brought shame to East Gangbuk. Yi Ha-han responds harshly, saying that no one expected anything from him and deriding him as a pathetic little shithead. He accuses Sang-hyuk of thinking he belongs with them just because they accepted his money a couple of times, asserting that he's not even worth a beating. He concludes that beating him up would only make it seem as though Sang-hyuk were part of their crew. Sang-hyuk Park asks, "So what?" He inquires if Sehyun Kim spread those rumors as he said. Sang-hyuk Park confirms, saying yes, there's no doubt about it. He responds, okay, then he should pay him a visit if he's so desperate to fight him that he's resorted to spreading rumors. His friend mentioned that he had another appointment this afternoon. Yi Ha-han asks if he should clear his schedule for the rest of the day. He asks when and how he's going to teach Sehyun Kim a lesson then. Yi Han-han steps forward, lighting up a cigarette, and declares, right now. Meanwhile, at school, Sehyun Kim sees his card and thinks that this is the card he got from the latest quest. The normal card displays the name to the moon and advises him to try and get on his level. He contemplates to the moon and considers whether he should try using it now. Meanwhile, Diseong H-wung, ranked 14th in East Gangbuk High, calls Yi Ha-han and questions why they're using a sledgehammer to crack a nut. He suggests leaving it to him. He'll tear Sehyun from limb to limb and leave the pieces in front of their school statue for the vultures to pick at. He asks Yi-ha if he thinks he can manage that and boasts about beating Ha-jun-gu. Diseong H-wung slaps his belly and asks if Yi-ha doesn't trust his gut. He insults Yi-ha, calling him an idiot pig, and accuses him of thinking he's hot stuff if he doesn't trust him. He demands to know why he is just standing around and orders him to go get him. Meanwhile, Sehyun Kim sits in the classroom, sees the card, and thinks that this is the card he got from the latest quest. He ponders whether it seems like a great card, although it might come in handy from time to time, and whether he should just disassemble it with the card master. He decides against it for now, realizing he's becoming too addicted to disassembling cards and might end up in a worse place than where he started. More importantly, he needs to complete the quest. The quest window notifies him that he needs to recruit crew members 14, with the reward being 1 gold card. He contemplates who his other crew members should be and realizes he needs to find people with good stats. As he walks in the hallway, his slipper breaks, and he remarks that his slides are coming apart. He thinks he will soon be able to rank up the peak at his skill and wonders if he should wait until it reaches E rank before he starts looking in earnest. He decides he better deal with his shoes first. Karen Beek approaches and informs him that homeroom is looking for him. He bends down to inspect his slippers but accidentally bumps into her chest. She demands to know what he thinks he's doing, how he's feeling, and if he's enjoying himself. He explains that it's his slipper. She slaps him and verbally abuses him. The quest window notifies that it's 1 hit for Master Please. He apologizes, stating he honestly didn't mean to do that, and he just has the worst luck. She tells him to shut his mouth and threatens to report him to the cops. He pleads for her not to go. At that moment, Ha-jun-gu appears behind him, causing a chill to run down his spine. He quickly runs to hide, feeling stressed, and realizes he's back at school after not seeing Ha-jun-gu for a while. He reflects that everyone was worried about Ha-jun-gu, including himself. He asks if Ha-jun-gu has had breakfast yet. Ha-jun-gu walks away, stating that they're not really friends anymore. He states that he doesn't really want to talk to him, and if that's the case, he won't bother him. The quest window notifies that a side quest has been created. Recruit Hajun-gu as a crew member 01, with the reward being 1 silver card. He wonders what this is about recruiting Hajun-gu as a crew member, and how he can recruit someone he fought against. He contemplates whether he'll end up having to fight Hajun-gu again and doubts if he could beat him a second time or if he should just give up since it's just a side quest. A girl sees him and identifies him as Sehyun Kim. The boy with her wonders what dastardly deed he's up to this time. Sehyun Kim thinks that it's probably for the best, as the quest is only offering 1 silver card as a reward anyway, and he should try to complete it. He calls Hajun-gu and asks if he wants to join his crew, realizing he can't throw away his chance at another card. Then he wishes Hajun-gu a good day, thinking that it's probably not going to happen. After a while, Sehyun Kim sits with Koo Jae-ya at the bus stop. Koo Jae-ya remarks, fortunately nothing happened. Sehyun Kim agrees, saying, yeah, it was quite unexpected. Koo Jae-ya comments on how surprising it is that Hajun-gu would let that pass. Sehyun Kim agrees, expressing his fear of not being able to nap during recess because he was scared Hajun would find him and kick him. He mentions that he can't use a peek at his on Hajun either. Koo Jae-ya inquires about peeking at him. Sehyun Kim dismisses it, but Koo Jae-ya insists he can peek at him if that's what he needs. Suddenly, a boy rushes over and informs them that something terrible has happened. The East Gangbuk group took Hyundong. Sehyun Kim suggests calling the police, noting that they always seem to forget that contacting law enforcement for help is an option. The boy asks if he should call their guys up. Sehyun Kim replies that he's not listening to him, and even if he were, they can handle it themselves. He adds that if he goes to where they are, he'd just end up fighting. The boy says okay and moves to leave. He asks Sehyun if he's joking. Sehyun Kim sits on the bus with Koo Jae-ya. Koo Jae-ya asks if this is really okay. Sehyun Kim responds, yeah, he is not going. Yi Ha-han is the top dog of East Gangbuk High. He thinks that if there were a quest, it might be a different story, but he didn't even receive one. He opens the window and remarks that he doesn't want to show up wherever they've taken Hyundong and end up in another fight. He expresses hope that after this incident, Hyundong will stop bothering him, concluding that there's no need for him to get involved. He feels the air from outside and thinks about what a beautiful day it is. Meanwhile, a boy in a white shirt comments on what a beautiful day it is and asks if Hyundong Lee of West Gangbuk High doesn't think it's a good day to die. He proceeds to beat him and berates him, calling him pathetic and stating that he knows he was Hajun-gu's lackey and has now aligned himself with Sehyun Kim. He adds that if someone were to beat Tank Top Sehyun, he'd go kissing that guy's ass next. Hyundong Lee responds by saying that just as a clever bird is particular about the tree upon which it builds its nest, a wise general is particular about the sovereign for whom he lays down his life. He explains that this idiot is smart enough to go to college and was simply selecting the right tree. He has finally found the sovereign he is to serve. Hyundong Lee asserts that he will have no other master, and he knows that Sehyun will not come to save him, so the buck stops with him. Deseong Hwang asks if that is right. Hyundong Lee asks if he isn't a little embarrassed, and if Yi Ha-han really sent all of them here. Deseong Hwang picks up a rod and asks if he thinks he can take all of them. Hyundong Lee comments that now he's resorting to using a weapon on him. Deseong Hwang clarifies that it's not for him, but for Hyundong Lee and places it on his shoulder while instructing him to hit him. Hyundong takes it and hits him. Deseong Hwang asks if that's it. Hyundong thinks that it didn't hurt him at all. The boy in the white shirt kicks him and commands him not to just stand there. He asks if Hyundong doesn't know who Deseong Hwang is, stating that he's ranked 14th in East Gangbuk High, which means he is their 14th strongest fighter. He then moves away, saying he will leave the rest to the others. The boy in the white shirt moves to attack him, declaring, "Let's finish this." Hyundong Lee thinks of Sehyun, apologizing for everything and for always bothering him. At that moment, Sehyun Kim arrives and punches him. The quest window notifies that he threw a straight punch. Everyone is shocked to see this. Sehyun Kim asks how dare he irritate him all the time, bug him all the time, and make him worry about him. He admits that he has grown attached to him and assures him not to worry. He will deal with these guys somehow. The quest window notifies that he used the peek at him card. Deseong Hwang asks if this is Sehyun Kim. The quest window displays their abilities ranks. Hyoseok On comments that he's even smaller than he thought. Fungju Kang remarks that this guy is the top dog of West Gangbuk. Sehyun Kim thinks, let's see, he can probably take these guys. Deseong Hwang mentions that he believes Sehyun Kim is a year older than him. Sehyun Kim sees his details on the quest window and ponders how good he is at taking hits with his endurance ranked A. Deseong Hwang asks if he is ready to have the crap kicked out of him by their junior. Sehyun Kim wonders if he would be able to beat this guy. Deseong Hwang insists on an answer. He observes that he is huge, noting the significant height difference, and considers that maybe he could take him down by attacking his face. He asks if Deseong Hwang wants them to go first, suggesting that in situations like this, the rule of thumb is for the weaker fighter to attack first, saving energy for the rest of them. Deseong Hwang replies that he will finish him himself. Seungju Kang comments that he is the GOAT. Sehyun Kim wonders what he is saying. He wants to fight him one-on-one and attack him. The quest window notifies that he threw a jab and a straight punch. Sehyun Kim thinks, well, all the better for him then, and punches him, but it doesn't affect him, leaving him to wonder, what the hell? Deseong Hwang asks what he is doing, and Sehyun Kim thinks that it didn't hurt him at all. Sehyun Kim punches him again and again, thinking that his huge belly is absorbing all the damage and wondering if this is why his endurance is ranked a+. He realizes he has no choice but to aim for his face. Deseong Hwang attacks him and says it's his turn, noting that he is so weak. Hyundong remarks that there's too much of a difference in weight between the two of them. Sehyun Kim responds that it's okay, and if weight is the problem, he has a solution. He apologizes for doubting him. Sehyun Kim thinks that he has a card that allows him to disregard weight classes. The quest window notifies that he used the maximum capacity card. He tries to lift him up, but the quest window notifies him that this card cannot be used. Deseong Hwang effortlessly holds him up with a single hand. The quest window notifies that maximum capacity can only be used once per day, with 1 hour of cooldown remaining. He realizes he used the maximum capacity card last night. Deseong Hwang attacks him again and throws him away. A student asks what the hell is going on and why he's so weak. Deseong Hwang questions if he's really the top dog of weak Gangbuk High, stating that it was way too easy. Sehyun Kim realizes he can't move. Deseong Hwang moves away, declaring that he will leave the rest to the others and that he doesn't want to waste any more of his energy. Seungju Kang agrees, saying they have to let everyone know that they were the ones who took Sehyun Kim down. He suggests they should at least break one of his legs. Hyundong steps forward, stating that they all have to go through him first. A boy attempts to attack him with a baseball bat, telling him to stop being so melodramatic. Hajun-gu suddenly arrives and kicks him, shocking everyone. He tells Sehyun Kim to let him ask him something and questions what he meant at school when he asked him to join his crew. He asks if Sehyun Kim takes him for a fool. Sehyun Kim denies it, explaining that he just thought he'd be a reliable person to have around, that's all. Hajun-gu remarks that Sehyun Kim is a weird guy and leaves the lackeys to him. Sehyun Kim asks what he means. Hajun-gu responds that he will do it. He will join his crew. The quest window indicates that Hajun-gu has joined his crew, completed the side quest, and is being awarded a silver card. Sehyun Kim holds the silver card, shocked to see it. Deseong Hwang asks if he is Hajun-gu, expressing that it's the first time he's seen him in person and that he has always wanted to meet him. Deseong Hwang asks if they should get right into it. Hajun-gu replies that it's not him. Deseong Hwang asks what he is saying. Hajun-gu clarifies that he's not the one Sehyun Kim will be fighting. Deseong Hwang questions what he is saying. Hajun-gu elaborates that he's just getting suited up, and it's tank top Sehyun, that is. Sehyun Kim gets ready to fight after eating the healing bean. The quest window notifies that he used the healing bean, restoring his stamina. Gets ready to fight after eating the healing bean. The quest window notifies that he used the healing bean, restoring his stamina and creating a side quest to execute a combo using various cards, with the reward being a gold card. Deseong Hwang attacks him and asks what difference it would make if he got suited up. The quest window notifies him that Master Please has 1 hit. Deseong Hwang questions what difference that makes, and if it's a name brand tank top or something, then hits him again and again. The quest window notifies that Master Please has 5 hits and 1 stat will increase at random. Sehyun Kim admits he's feeling embarrassed. The quest window notifies that his strength has increased from E to C rank, and he throws a straight punch. He punches him hard in the belly. Deseong Hwang abuses him and says that it actually stings a bit. He thinks he can still beat him. Everyone is shocked to see this. Soo-hyun Kim recalls the To the Moon card that allows him to perform a high standing vertical jump. The quest window notifies that he has used the To the Moon card. He takes a high jump and Deseong Hwang moves his hand up, saying he will just grab him and throw him down. Hyundong screams no. Soo-hyun Kim spins in the air while recalling a silver card, which is the Taekwondo spinning back kick. He is able to execute a spinning back kick, a type of kick used in Taekwondo. The quest window notifies that he threw a spinning back kick. He kicks Deseong Hwang in the face, knocking him out. Everyone is shocked to see his moves. The quest window notifies him that the side quest is complete, and as a reward, he has received a gold card. He says, "Claim card." The quest window notifies that he has claimed the gold card. The quest window displays 2 cards and asks him to select one. He can only claim one of the following 2 cards. He thinks about how he can only claim one of them and wonders how they expect him to choose. Deseong Hwang's gang members surround him and comment that Deseong Hwang won't wake up, with another adding that he's practically wasting away. Hajun-gu says to get him out of there. After a while, Soo-hyun Kim arrives home and thinks he is so tired that he ends up fighting again. Everything hurts, and he better go straight to his room and rest. He is shocked to see Daehyun dancing and asks what the hell she is doing. She asks, "What the hell?" He said he was going to be home late. He goes to his room and says as if he wanted to see that, and in fact, he'd give anything to unsee it, so let's just drop it. She says everyone else in his class is doing it too. He says he doesn't care, but about a TikTok dance challenge. She tells him to shut his face. He thinks about what he should do and which card he should pick. He sees the cards and thinks the first one is an eye for cards. Knowing what card he will be getting next will definitely come in handy, but if this is a card he really needs right now, and the second card is a fateful meeting, a challenger card, the highest ranking card, ranked higher than gold, platinum, or even diamond. He wonders if the challenger card is able to speak, but why would it want to meet him, and if it is going to answer all his questions. He lies on the pillow and thinks he will think about it in the morning. Meanwhile, at East Gangbuk High, Deseong Hwang asks if he wants him to go home. The boy in the black jacket says he knows how Yiha is and asks if he really thinks he'll leave him alone after he comes back with his tail between his legs. He advises him not to show his face around school for the time being unless he wants to get his ass kicked, and tells him to go home and lay low for a while. Deseong Hwang agrees, saying that he will go home. Yiha Han arrives and asks what's going on. The boy replies that he is here. Yiha Han notes that he came to school today. Deseong Hwang kneels down and says to calm down. He is so sorry. Please forgive him, and he never had any intentions of betraying him, he swears. However, Hajun-gu suddenly shows up, and he asks for one more chance. Yiha Han moves to slap him. Meanwhile, at West Gangbuk High, Soo-hyun Kim thanks Hajun-gu for yesterday. He mentions that things were going badly back there, and he's grateful Hajun showed up in the nick of time. He asks why Hajun came and saved him though. He adds that seriously, they would have been screwed if Hajun hadn't been there. He then laughs and says that's hilarious. Hajun-gu is peeing in the washroom and says that's fine, asking why Soo-hyun is telling him this right now. Soo-hyun explains that he just happened to see him in there and asks if Hajun wants him to help shake it off. Hajun-gu says he can manage. Soo-hyun remarks that Hajun is even stronger than he thought, and thanks him for being a part of his crew. Hajun-gu responds, saying not to flatter himself, he's just sticking around for a little while to see where Soo-hyun goes from here. He adds that Soo-hyun should really be worrying about East Gangbuk. Soo-hyun Kim asks what Yiha Han is going to do next and wonders if he might just leave him alone. He mentions hearing that Yiha was a delinquent and out of control. 2 girls overhear them talking. One in a blue jacket mentions that Hajun-gu is now hanging out with Soo-hyun too. The other, in a red tie, adds that apparently they even have matching tank tops. Soo-hyun says that with some preparation they could probably beat Yiha easily. Hajun-gu warns him to watch out for Yiha Han, saying he's not the idiot Soo-hyun thinks he is. Soo-hyun asks what Hajun means, and Hajun replies that people who don't know Yiha Han think he's just a common thug, but they are wrong. Meanwhile, Yiha Han slaps Deseong Hwang. He thinks Yiha Han, contrary to his appearance, is smart as heck. He asks how that fool fights and mentions he's a decent fighter. He knows this, so what happened? He demands to be told everything. How Sehyun Kim talks, how he acts, his habits, his strengths, what to watch out for, and what his techniques are. He says he gets it now. His gang member asks what he means by he gets it. Yi Ha-han kicks Deseong Hwang and clarifies that he is talking about tank top Sehyun. He understands what he is now. A boy notes that Deseong Hwang got knocked out with a single blow and asks about Sehyun Kim. Yi Ha-han responds that he understands now. Sehyun Kim was close to being knocked out, but made a sudden recovery and threw a fancy kick out of nowhere. He concludes that Sehyun must have that ability too. Meanwhile, Sehyun Kim's gang members gather and bow down in front of him, offering their sincere congratulations. Sehyun Kim places his hand on his head and tells them there's no need to congratulate him. They ask what he means. Of course they should. Kyu-ju sits beside Sehyun Kim and asks for his briefing. Hyundong says alright then, he will begin the briefing. He taps on Deseong Hwang's photo and mentions that he is aware that his nickname has been updated to Tank Top Sehyun the Cannibal, derived from practically devouring Deseong Hwang in battle. He comments that the rumor spread fast. He continues, stating that it's unfortunate Deseong Hwang, being only the 14th strongest fighter in East Gangbuk, was too low ranked to be overseeing any territory. He remarks that if he were, that territory would have been theirs, which is tragic. He adds that those ranked 13th strongest or higher do oversee territory, so soon it will be time for them to expand their territory as well. Sehyun Kim wonders how things ended up like this, realizing that at this rate, he might actually end up uniting all of Gangbuk, and it's all because of those quests he keeps receiving. He ponders why these quests are appearing in the first place, and if he is somehow the chosen one. He questions why it has to be him of all people, and what awaits him at the end of these quests. Will he have to complete quests for the rest of his life? Hyundong remarks that Sehyun seems to be musing for them, and everyone should get ready to clap. They compliment him, saying he's cool, as expected from Tank Top Sehyun the Cannibal. Sehyun Kim acknowledges that he has so many questions and realizes it's time for him to make a decision. He doesn't want to spend his life completing quests without knowing the reason behind them. Although he feels it's a shame he can't keep the eye for cards card, he genuinely wants to know where these quests are originating from. The quest window notifies him that he has selected the fateful meeting card. He concludes that he needs to meet this challenger who apparently wants to meet with him. The quest window asks if he would like to use the fateful meeting card. He decides to use the card. The quest window notifies that he has used the fateful meeting card. He is surprised to see everyone disappear and wonders where everyone has gone. He calls out for Kyu-ju and Hyundong, searching for them and even calling out to teachers, but there's nobody around. He questions what is happening and where everyone else has gone. Exiting the school, he sees multiple lights all around and expresses disbelief. The quest window pops out and welcomes him, stating that this is their first meeting and assures him that he has many questions. It encourages him to ask anything. Sehyun Kim asks who is giving him these quests and why he is getting them. He questions why it's him, of all people, and what they want from him, as well as what the final quest entails. The quest window notifies that, alright, now it will give him the answers he desires, and it will connect him to them. He inquires about them. It acknowledges that he is Sehyun Kim. Sehyun Kim thinks this is a human voice. It states that he has already drawn the fateful meeting card, and he is a very lucky kid. Sehyun Kim asks if that means there's someone else doing these quests too. It reassures him, saying there's no need to worry. Whatever he is concerned about will not come to pass, and it will be honest. This meeting is premature, and it does not know whether he is worthy of the task. Sehyun Kim asks what task, and if that is the final quest. He responds that of course Sehyun Kim must have many questions, but they cannot yet trust each other. So how about he first shows him what he is capable of? Sehyun Kim asks what he is capable of. He says to unite East and South Gangbuk High. Then he will be able to place his faith in him. Sehyun says that uniting means he has to beat up more people, but why does he have to? He asks if he means to say he will give up, and if he does not see this as an opportunity, noting that his eyesight has improved and he has gotten taller. He says he is no longer bullied and his life is changing, but those were merely gold cards. Bronze, gold, silver, platinum, he mentions, and asks if Sehyun will be satisfied with these alone. He mentions Diamond, Master and Challenger cards and asks if Suhyun is not curious about what they can offer him. His body remains unconscious in the classroom and everyone calls out to him. Hyundong remarks that they thought he had kicked the bucket and asked what was going on and who was groping his butt. He explains that his eyes were closed and he wasn't saying anything. Another student suggests that most people would assume he had fallen asleep. He adds that, under Kyuja's leadership, they were discussing having matching uniforms made. Hyundong approves and tells them to come in. Hyun Kim stands up from his chair and realizes that when he uses the fateful meeting card, it appears to others as if he has fallen asleep. Hyundong asks if he feels tired and if they should wrap up for today. Hyun Kim says, "Yeah, let's do that," and moves from there. He advises to rest up, mentioning he has a whole family to support. Hyun Kim clarifies that by family he is referring to West Gangbuk High, and he calls himself an idiot. He remarks he can see why all those rumors got so out of control. However, he believes he has an opportunity. Cards of an even higher rank and gold cards alone make him taller and improve his vision, and he can acquire cards capable of much more than that. He calls Hyundong and considers this a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. He says he is now interested in uniting Gangbuk and believes he will do it. Hyundong says he will pass on his message to all the other high schools in Gangbuk. After a while, a girl hangs out at the school with her boyfriend, calling him honey. Hyun Kim stands beside a wall and observes them sneakily. The quest window notifies him that he has used the peak on his card. The girl slaps the boy and asks what the hell is going on. Hyun Kim says he's got to grind the peak at his skill again today, and he feels like he has peaked at pretty much everyone at school. The boy asks what has gotten into her. She says she is so sorry. She suddenly feels super creeped out. Hyun Kim says his rank should level up. The quest window notifies that congratulations, peak at him is now at E rank. He thinks he did it. He ranked up his peak at his skill to E rank. He looks around and thinks about who he should try it out on. He sees Karen Beek and uses peek at her. The quest window notifies him that he used the peek at her card. He wonders why he zeroed in on Karen Beek right at this moment. The quest window shows her abilities and details. He thinks he can even see people's weight. That might be a little risky. After a while, he walks down the street holding a card and thinks, let's see, these are the cards he possesses. He has a couple more, reaching maximum capacity. But will this be enough to unite the East and South Gangbuk High? He contemplates that maximum capacity. But will this be enough to unite the East and South Gangbuk High? He contemplates that she believes he will require more attack cards. He remains unaware of Seok, but Yiha-han is truly intimidating. He realizes that until he becomes stronger, he needs to avoid Yiha. Yiha-han approaches him and inquires, really, what is it? Hyun Kim is shocked to see him. He kicks Yiha and asserts they are not friends. There is no need to exchange pleasantries. Hyun Kim falls to the ground and thinks, what is this? That kick knocked the wind out of him. He questions if he's not going to fight and mentions he heard his footwork was decent. Hyun Kim eats a healing bean and attempts to run. The quest window notifies him that he has used the healing bean and his stamina has been restored. Yiha-han moves to kick him again and asks if they are only good for running away. He stands in front of him, ready to fight. Yiha-han asks how the hell did he beat Diseong Hwang. He responds, peek at him, and the quest window notifies that he used the peek at his card, displaying Yiha-han's abilities in detail on the window. Yiha-han inquires if he won by peeking at him. He observes the ability ranks and realizes 2 of his stats are S rank. He acknowledges he is totally outmatched, especially since he has already used the healing bean, and wonders what to do next. The quest window notifies that a side quest has been created. Fight and defeat Yiha-han, with the reward being 1 platinum card and a hidden condition. He thinks he's got to be kidding me. How the hell is he going to beat him? He suggests they fight another day, reasoning that there's no point in fighting here without anyone around to witness it. He realizes he can't give up on a platinum card and must strategize. He emphasizes it's a battle between West and East Gangbuk High, expressing his desire for it to happen in this dirty alleyway. He admits he's too weak right now, and that this is the only way, while silently hoping Yiha-han will take the bait. Yiha-han asks when he wants to fight. He believes Yiha-han took the bait and confidently replies, "Don't worry about that." Tank Top Sehyun will be in touch as he moves to pick up his bag from the ground. Yi-ha-han questions if that's right and agrees, saying he'll see him then before leaving the area. Sehyun Kim seizes the opportunity, leaps high, and moves to attack. The quest window notifies that he has used the To the Moon card. He thinks he's a beast, with 2 stats ranked S, and acknowledges there's no guarantee he'd be able to beat him next time, especially considering his A-rank endurance. The quest window notifies him that he has used the maximum capacity card, and he executes a spinning back kick. He believes he just needs 1 hit and aims for Yi-ha-han's head. Yi-ha-han turns, kicks him, and remarks that he never lets down his guard. He throws Sehyun away and acknowledges that his steps are uncoordinated, but his technique is not half bad. The quest window notifies that the side quest has failed, but a hidden condition has been achieved: first defeat against an unbeatable opponent. Congratulations are given for unlocking the hidden achievement, and Sehyun has received a diamond card. After a while, Hyundong tries to wake up Sehyun Kim, who lies unconscious on the desk. He opens his eyes. Hyundong asks if he is all right. Sehyun Kim asks where he is. Hyundong Lee explains they are at school. He found him passed out in the alley and brought him here. He mentions he heard about the fight with Yi-ha-han. Sehyun Kim thinks he sees it. Yi-ha-han knocked him out and Hyundong saved him. Hyundong says he heard what happened, calling Yi-han an idiot for sneaking up on him like that. He reassures Sehyun not to worry as he treats his injuries. He mentions he has been studying medicine in his spare time to be of service. Sehyun Kim asks why he didn't just take him to the hospital and then retracts, realizing he's not that grateful. He reflects on his defeat, feeling a complete and utter loss. He laments losing before even trying to fight back, experiencing such a huge gap between himself and his opponent for the first time. He wonders why he was so helpless against Yi-ha-han when he was able to take on Deseong Hwang. He notes that Yi-ha-han's strength is ranked S, while Deseong Hwang's is ranked B, considering it's not too huge of a difference. He speculates that strength may refer to an individual's total attack power. Ha-jun-gu arrives and comments that Sehyun got lucky, implying gratitude for not having gone further. Sehyun Kim wonders why Ha-jun is there and if he is worried about him. He decides to use the peek at him card. He pauses, realizing even Yi-ha-han was wary of Ha-jun, raising questions about Ha-jun's strength. Ha-jun-gu responds that he's already looking at him. Sehyun Kim realizes that Ha-jun's strength is also S rank, nearly putting them on the same level. He ponders how he managed to beat Ha-jun-gu. He questions if Ha-jun went easy on him or something, finding it difficult to comprehend. Sehyun Kim then states he has a question, prompting Ha-jun-gu to inquire about it. He stands up and acknowledges that he is just wondering why Ha-jun is helping him. He expresses his suspicion that Ha-jun might have been going easy on him during their fight and mentions that Ha-jun even agreed to join his crew. He asks if there's a particular reason for this. Ha-jun-gu responds by calling him weird, stating he's never seen someone like him before, and admits to being a little intrigued. He clarifies that he never said he would work with him or anything, then leaves, bidding farewell. Sehyun Kim reflects that it seems like he's the weird one. He asks Hyundong if he can leave too, noting that what happened must be weighing heavily on his mind. Hyundong expresses understanding and hopes he feels better soon. Sehyun Kim expresses gratitude and thinks that the sooner he leaves, the sooner he can see what card he got. He urges himself to hurry up and get out of there. He holds the card and reflects on it being a diamond card. He ponders the rarity of receiving such a card from a side quest, thinking that someone up there must really like him. He considers whether fighting is not all about winning, but quickly dismisses the thought, attributing his luck this time to chance. He reasons that they said they wanted to see what he is capable of, so he doubts they'll keep giving him good cards like this. Nevertheless, he expresses gratitude for the card and vows to use it wisely. Reflecting on the platinum card he received earlier, which turned out to be a peek at him, he wonders what the diamond card will be. He says, "Claim card." The quest window notifies him that he has successfully claimed the diamond card, offering congratulations. He is surprised to see the card, which notifies him of a summon card. Copy Cloud summon it in a safe location. He contemplates the summon card. Meanwhile, at East Gangbok High School, Yi-ha-han's gang members bow down in front of him. A boy expresses gratitude for his hard work and asks about Sehyun Kim. Yi-ha-han questions if they think he would have shown his face around there if he had lost. He dismisses it, stating that Suhyun was weaker than he thought, and now West Gangbuk High belongs to them. He calls for Doyok Kang, who responds affirmatively. Hajin-gu instructs Doyok Kang to gather the boys and wrap things up with West Gangbuk. He reassures them not to worry about Sehyeon Kim, but acknowledges Hajin-gu's presence, implying